Hi everyone, my name is ASSYL and welcome back to my channel. I've been doing some reflecting recently and I realized I've never talked about my international student experience, which is basically one of the biggest part of my identity. Most of my lessons learned were during the time when I was an international student, and a lot of challenges, a lot of things happened during that time. And as you can see from the title, it was the worst thing ever, you guys. It's hard. It is hard, and this is not something that is being talked about enough, in my opinion. Because when I was 14, 15, 16, when I was graduating high school and deciding where to study, where to go, obviously I went to YouTube. I was watching a lot of videos on, people studying in US, people studying in China, people studying in Korea, people studying in England, people studying in Ireland, people studying in Australia, people studying in Canada. And everyone was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, you can do this, you can do that, the classes are so good, it's not corrupt, blah blah blah. And it just seemed like a very positive vibe. And of course I like it because you don't want to put fear or sense of negativity to people, especially to like young kids who are watching it. And I get it, but I'm just saying that I feel like there was not enough honesty in those videos saying that not everything is sugar candy, super sweet, honeyland, rainbows, and everything like that. No, it's definitely not the way people say it is most of the time. And I'm not going to talk a lot about xenophobia, discrimination, racism. Those things exist, obviously, but I think those are not unique to international student experience. Number one thing that struck me the most, the thing that I hated the most, like actually hated the most, is the way they advertise these programs at these universities, colleges, blah, blah, blah. And I've been studying in Toronto for 4 years, and let me tell you something. I've been promised a co-op. If you don't know what's co-op, it's basically like an internship or like work experience or something like that is integrated within your program. So in 2015, 2016, when I was doing applications and stuff like that, I was almost making sure, because that was something so important to me, because you make such a huge investment in your education, you put so many thousands of dollars, you put so much effort, you apply for these visas, you learn about program, you learn the language, you get passionate about it, you learn about professors, you learn about classes. And I was talking to these academic advisors, I was talking about these PR people from colleges, and they come to your cities wherever you live. The reps, they will come to you and they're going to advertise, we have this, we have that, we have the third, without actually giving you facts. It's a lie, you guys, it's a lie. I really wanted and I really needed an internship or a co-op because I don't want to go and just study. I need to work, I need to get my money back, I need to get experience, international experience. That's like the whole point. And they told me that after my 3rd semester, I will get a co-op work term, and then after 5th semester, I'll get one more co-op work term, and then maybe after graduation, I'll get one more possibly, but 2 would be enough. You could just imagine my face when I was in my 2nd semester and they would start talking about internships. I was so excited for this internship thing. I was preparing, I was researching the companies around my area. I was preparing for these interviews, like thinking that I'm gonna get hired for this internship. Yeah, the thing is, these co-ops were limited. When I say limited, and when I say limited, from my whole stream, like when I say whole stream, from my whole program, and I studied chemical engineering, so all the students who were enrolled in chemical engineering program, at that moment, only 10 people got into a co-op. It's such a raggedy thing to do to young people. First of all, they ask for so many requirements for this co-op, as if this is not just work experience. Like, let's be honest, you are working at the end of the day, you are making profit for the company. They're not doing you almost any favor besides paying you $14 an hour, which is nothing in Toronto. And they had audacity to ask for all of these grades, for all of these visas. You have to have special type of visa, you have to have special co-op visa, how they call it. They have to pay for it, you have to apply for it. You have to do all of this stuff in order for you not to get the co-op. And the people who got the co-op, as strange as it is, now that I think of, they were all domestic. None of them were international. I was so disgusted by it because after the first time, you can't do any co-ops with college. And the thing is, they say, oh, we're going to do it with our partners. We have partner universities, blah, blah, blah. We're going to help you to find internship. None of it was true. What? There was no companies, there was no arrangement, there was no help. I just had to apply to basic jobs on my own, and it wouldn't be internships, and everyone declined me just because I'm on student visa. And the thing is, you can't fully work full-time unless you are not on a special type of visa. But that's a whole different situation. The college literally, before first year, I was asking so many times, like, I hope I'm gonna get the, it's like, that was like the whole point. I don't really care about studies, you guys. Like, I don't go to college just to study chemical engineering. That's not the whole point. We're living in 2021. The education almost doesn't matter at all. Bachelor's, college diploma, whatever, that's the stepping stool for you. You need experience, you need internships, and I literally was just left there with nothing. And when I asked the same people who I was asking 3 years before that, and they were like, oh, we told you, just it's most likely that you're gonna get co-op. And you know, they choose these terms, and they love saying like, due to our policy, not everyone will get co-op, but most. But who's the most? 10 people got it. It's not like they got co-op like these huge internships at these like huge companies. No, they were lab techs. They were lab techs. They were sanitizing techs. They were just glass washing tech, which is nothing wrong with. People are paying so much money and you do nothing. You don't do your promises. Why would you not just say, we don't offer internships? That's it. Don't say you offer at all. Be honest. Like, why would you lie? The thing is, in my country, we do have mandatory internships most of the time, so that's why I just thought it's a thing. I didn't know it was that selective and that like, oh, you can do this, but you can do that. You have to apply here, but you don't have that. You're international? Don't know how it's gonna work out. Like, we prefer someone different. But I worked hard enough and I got everything on my own. So that was still raggedy though. Like, I hate, that was so disgusting. I'm very disgusted. Yesterday I had the worst fever ever. I got my second shot. I literally felt the temperature of that. That was me yesterday. Number 2, the basic necessities like insurance. I'm sorry everyone, I couldn't film yesterday because I was in so much pain. So the countries have government insurance that provides their citizens, their residents, their students some sort of insurance. In my case, I had to pay for the insurance. It was around $900 per 8 months, so per 2 semesters. Let me tell you this, when I was going to doctors for the first time, first of all, the whole doctor experience was horrible. I had to wait in line for like 3.5 hours to get to the regular physician who doesn't know anything. And when I went there, no one knew about my insurance. They were like, what? More? What? What is that? Never heard. That was their reaction. They were only asking about government insurance or one of the big banks' insurance, which I didn't have because my school is a raggedy. They don't want to pay for good insurance. They'd rather spend my money on some shitty insurance. So when I applied for the government insurance, they rejected me because at the time I didn't work. But I was like, I need government insurance. How would I go to doctors if my regular insurance doesn't work, right? That's what everyone would do. And then I was like, okay, then I worked. And then I went again, and I was still refused because I don't meet permanent resident eligibility or whatever. My school insurance is over, almost over. I want to get a new insurance, but the thing is, I want to pay for the insurance like out of my pocket. I was like, okay, I give up. I'd rather just pay for the good insurance. And guess what? All of them rejected me for the insurance that I want to pay. All of them rejected me due to the reason that I don't have provincial insurance. And I know this story is very common among students. This is something that you just have to deal with. There is no solution to it. They say just no. They just basically tell you to die. I don't know what to do about it. Just be careful, look for your safety, be conscious, put yourself in dangerous situations. And when I had some health problems, I just flew back to my country to fix my teeth, to fix my something, to go to good doctors, to go to a private clinic. Another huge thing, I know a lot of students struggled with this one specifically because this one is so common, it's embarrassing how common it is. So you know how if you're international and you apply to any of the programs that taught in English, right? You apply for a visa, and typically if the country is English speaking, you do the IELTS TOEFL exam, which is basically English speaking testing, whatever exams, and you have to get a certain grade to pass that. And then university also requires that test, right? So you'd rather get the highest score you can so that you can meet all the visa criteria, university criteria, all the criteria in the world. There's so many people with the dogs. So basically, I got a good score on IELTS. It wasn't the highest. You could imagine my face when I went to the college on my 3rd day and they asked me to write a whole essay, and I was like, why would I write a whole essay? They were like, for us to like kind of like know your English level and blah blah blah, and which English course you should take. I was like, why would I take English course? I already passed my English exam. I'm not studying English, I'm not studying literature, I'm not studying any humanitarian, any social sciences. I don't study any of that, right? So that makes sense. My argument makes sense because you had to pay for every single course. The thing is, they told me that every single international student, they had to take English course, some sort of English course. I think there's 3 of them. If you get the lowest score, then you take all 3. If you get the middle score, you take 2 courses, and if you take the highest score, you take 1 course. But you have to take a course anyway, and the costs like 1,200, around that. I was so mad. I was like, why would you, like, the college would require an English speaking exam for you to come there and for you to be tested again, and then you have to pay for the course to just write stupid short essays on useless stuff, spending so much time and money on bull crap. Like, why? Like, someone needs to tell me why, because I think everyone's crazy and everyone is looking at me like I'm crazy. And I know everyone felt that way, because like this is obviously a money grab. That's the way they make money off of poor international students. Like, mind you, it's 7:30 a.m. and I'm just sitting in a random park looking at people playing with dogs and stuff like that. Isn't it beautiful? This is one of the things that no one tells you before you actually arrive there. I was literally on the verge of tears that day because it's $1,200, y'all. It's a lot of money. Why would they do that to us? Like, why would, like, and the course was the most boring as, like, useless elementary level class ever, and I took only 1 course. I can imagine people's feeling who took all 3 courses. Another thing, okay, you guys, this video can go on and on and on because there were so many bad experiences, but I'm going to just list some of them, okay? So you know how if you're an international student, you, with a chance of 99%, you live in some sort of dormitory residence, like place where all the international students live, right? Because you don't know how it looks like before you actually arrive, right? So when I was applying, I was asking questions about it, and the way they were saying was like, oh yeah, everything, the utilities included, but it has this, it has that, it has bedroom, it has bathroom, it has kitchen, it has kitchen appliances. When I came there, there was nothing. Out of all kitchen appliances, when I came there was fridge and microwave. Like, what am I supposed to do? Should I starve? That's the question. Like, what would I do with a microwave? Huh? Like, someone needs to explain to me, because the way they were saying is, of course they wanted me to go to the residence because, like, it's some double profit, I guess, from one person. Because, you know, all of these places are just for money. And we live in capitalistic society, we just have to accept that. And I was okay with it at the time, with the condition that I would have a kitchen, so I would cook to myself, right? When I say I had nothing, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that kitchen. I couldn't believe my eyes. And the thing is, they have this meal plan. You know what's meal plan? So on campus, or whatever cafes, little food court you have, like, meal plan usually would include that, like 3 times per day. It's usually very expensive for any student. But I, of course, didn't take that because I have brains. But also, the food court that was on campus, it was literally pizza. It was Tim Hortons. It was Starbucks, and it was a little Chinese sushi place. You really expecting me to pay $900 for a pizza? Like, how does it work? It's like they want me, like, it's like they want me, but they don't want me. The most upsetting things, I would be okay with if I did my mistakes, you know, like, I grown up, I realized, man, I didn't understand properly, I didn't listen properly. No, they were lying to me. Like, they were legit looking to my face and lying to me. These advisors, these PR people, these student advisors, all of these people who were on these webinars and these forums and, like, these groups for support, all of them blatantly were lying to me, and they will lie to your face as well, just to get some money out of you. Have some sympathy. Like, I'm okay with it because, like, I'm pretty much getting all my money back, because it wouldn't be me if I didn't get every single penny out of it almost back. I could imagine people who pay $45,000, $35,000, $50,000 for shitty education, and that's what they got. Especially during pandemic, when it was even online, and, like, they couldn't even return their tuition fees. Like, what? Like, the way that during pandemic, none of these universities were returning tuition fees to international students. None. I've never seen a single university that did that. From this pandemic alone, you can see how these universities treat international, like, you can see how they treat international students. At the beginning of pandemic, Harvard, I think, pretty much closed all their residencies, and they were like you all, like, go back to your countries. That's what they said. But the thing is, none of these universities they should have decreased their tuition fee by at least 95%. 95% at least. Like if it was 100k, let's say, imaginary number 100k, it should be decreased to 5k per year. For the stuff that I can just watch online, presentations and Zoom classes, are you kidding me? I'm gonna touch on the subject of English exams a little bit more because, you know, if you apply to, for example, community college or just any other college like I did, and then you want to transfer to university to bachelor's, you know what's the funniest part? They will require for your English exam again. And the thing is about this English exams, once you take it, they only qualify for 2 years, which is weird, but whatever. And then they will ask you to retake those tests that cost $500 and then apply with that exam. It's like saying I graduated from your own college. I graduated from the college that's located in the same city as the university that I applied to, and they literally requested me English exam. What? That's how they treat like that. It's the language that they use. I don't like it. Like, you have to take English exam, but why do I have to? I literally graduated from the college that is literally 1 kilometer away from it. It's like you don't trust your own education. Like, if you don't trust your own education, how can I trust the education? And then when you apply to permanent residency, oh my god, that's another whole story. If you apply to permanent residency, they will require for that English exam again. But the thing is, I graduated from your own college. Like, I graduated from the government college. Like, how do you not trust this? Do you mean to tell me that I studied for 4 years, I got 4.0 GPA, I was on president's honors list and stuff like that, and I don't know English? Like, I could have done all of that without knowing English? Like, which world are these people living in? Because I know it's all money grab, obviously. Like, they want to just take that $500, they want to pay for this, you want to pay for that. But at what point the greed stops? At what point stupidity and greed stops? Because so far, it didn't stop. And the last 4 years really showed me like how raggedy the system is. Also, let me add you one more thing. Being an international student is also the worst. Sorry, I ate cookies, so if you think crumbles, you haven't seen them, okay? Being an international student is the worst because when you apply for a job, sometimes there's a question. Are you a Canadian citizen or are you a permanent resident? So, you know, when there's like a software application, like I know for sure once I say, no, I'm not a citizen. No, I'm not a resident. I know I'm not going to be even looked at. I know my resume is going to be done. It's going to be closed. Like, no one's going to even look at it. No one's giving me a single chance. Because I know that I'm in Canada, right? It's more liberal towards immigrants, international students, and stuff like that. I can imagine what's happening in the countries that are like pretty limited. I will also add one more thing. You know how typically universities have scholarships? Almost all universities should have scholarships and bursaries and all of that. When I tell you, when I was applying to the scholarships, like 70 if not more percent require you to be a citizen or a resident permanent, I was so thoroughly disgusted. Like, it's a student scholarship, but almost all of the scholarships are for academic achievement. Like, what if I'm a really good student but I'm not a citizen? Like, should I not deserve anything? It makes you mad inside because it's such an injustice, and I've seen myself that people with like lower score than me get scholarships. I was like, what? Like, you literally were copying my homework last week. Like, how can you get a scholarship? Anyway, it's just my little rant, and no offense to like citizens and permanent residents, like they should also get scholarships. I'm just saying, like, why do you put a limit on international students? Like, how does it even make sense? Like, do they not work hard enough? So when I say international student experience, I know there's some like fellow international students who I've seen who are like extremely rich, who ride Lamborghinis, who wear Gucci, who wear Chanel, who live in like best parts of the city. No, I don't talk about it. I don't relate to that experience. I have nothing in common with those people. I'm one of those international students who are broke, y'all. Like, I was those type of international students. Honestly, being an international student is tough, and you'll get through it. Thanks for listening to my little rant. So anyways, you guys, there's a lot of things that I want to say, but it just would be too long. So if you want to hear more from me, just let me know in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.